Thank you for actually allowing us to be here for this. The manager actually suggested this. So since about the middle 2000s, we've worked really hard as a metro group, 7 fire departments, to try to, kind of foster a relationship and work together. And some of that is with actually grants. And so in 2012, or 14, I'm sorry, East Lansing Fire Department received a grant. It's a CDAP grant, Commercial Equipment Direct Assistance Program. And the intent for this grant was for active violence training and specialized equipment. And so one of the items we received a couple years ago was this chest compressing unit. And then from there, we ended up receiving 3 more. And Chief Bill Priest, in a second, is going to kind of talk you through how it works. And Bill was pretty instrumental on the committee to get, these are about $16,000 a piece. So, the nice thing is we saved the budget, the township, the taxpayers, about $64,000 by working with our partnerships with the different fire departments to be able to do this. So every one of our ambulances actually carries one of these now. So with that, I want to introduce Chief Bill Priest, our training chief, and he's going to kind of talk through how this thing works. It's pretty cool.
Thank you, Chief Hamill. Thank you, Board. As you know, I'm Bill Priest, Chief of Training EMS Operations. This is Chuck Malesko and Bob Creddy from the Fire Department. What's on the patient there is what we call the Lucas 3, or affirmatively known as the thumper sometimes. It does CPR compressions for us. So when somebody's heart stopped and we're doing CPR, instead of having personnel to do that, the machine will do it consistently for us. As long as the battery holds out. Battery's about 45 minutes of CPR that it'll do, which is more than enough time for us to get to the patient and transport it to the hospital. So I'll have the guys go ahead, Bob, and turn it on there. Pretty straightforward. It goes around the patient. He pulls the plunger down to the chest. He will then turn it on, and it senses the depth, and it'll start compressing. It'll maintain the rate of at least 100. Pushing about 2 inches down on the chest. And we've had great luck with them, helping patients in the township that go into cardiac arrest. Are what we call ROSC, or return of spontaneous circulations, about 3 to 5% higher than other Tri-County agencies. I'm guessing they'll all catch us now because every ambulance in the metro area from the 6 metro departments all have these machines on them now to help us. So it's kind of the newest technology for CPR and helping to get return of spontaneous circulations from our patients, which is always a good thing. So I'll be happy to entertain any questions that any of you might have. Thank you, Bob, for demonstrating that.
Board members, any questions? It's a rather exciting technology that I can imagine what a relief it is for your staff not to have to do that manually.
It is. It's real difficult to do CPR in a moving ambulance, let alone moving patients down the hallway from, their apartment, maybe down the hallway out to the ambulance. I remember years ago riding the side of the cot trying to do CPR. Now we can put this on and pretty much be hands-free with it and let the machine take care of things. So it really is a benefit. We're not wearing out everybody. We're only about 2 minutes of CPR in us before we have to take a break and switch out to somebody else. Obviously, the machine frees up a couple hands to do other interventions for the patient.
Clerk Treffis.
What is the cost of the machine?
It's around $15,000 to $16,000 per unit. There's really no replacement cost. The suction cup that's there, the plunger cup, we replace that ever so often if it gets torn, but we can clean it, decon the entire unit. So it's pretty reliable unit for us. We haven't had any problems.
I see it's made by Stryker. That's the huge company that makes these various biomedical devices and joint replacements and everything else.
Yes. Yep.
Do you have to adjust it for the size of the patient, et cetera?
Yep, that would just be the plunger. So we put it on the patient, we just pull the plunger down to the chest. So somebody that's real skinny, it won't work for because it needs to have that amount of throw to it. Plus, if they're robust and too big, it won't get down enough to throw. But then we would just do regular CPR if the machine didn't do it. But the sizing is simply, as Bob demonstrated, you just pull the plunger down and that's it.
Other board members? Well, thank you so much, and thank you guys for coming out and showing us this, and thank you, Dummy.
Yeah, thank you for your time. Appreciate it.
I was told it wasn't polite to say that.